In the grand tapestry of Disney's storytelling, few rivalries are as iconic or as heartbreaking as the one between Mufasa and Scar. It's more than just a battle for a throne. It's a profound story about light and shadow, brotherhood and betrayal, and the deep wounds that jealousy can inflict. Today, we're diving deep into the Pride Lands to explore the complex relationship between these two royal brothers. Why did Scar hate Mufasa so intensely? And what does their story teach us about power, family, and the choices that define us? Let's start with the sun-drenched plains of the Pride Lands, ruled by the noble and charismatic King Mufasa. Mufasa is the embodiment of a perfect king. He's strong, wise, and deeply respects the circle of life. He understands that his power isn't about dominance, but about maintaining balance and protecting every creature, from the crawling ant to the leaping antelope. He's a loving father to Simba and a respected leader to his pride. He is, in every sense, the sun, king, radiant, life-giving, and at the center of his world. But where there is brilliant light, there must also be a shadow, and that shadow is cast by his younger brother, Scar, originally named Taka, which means waste or dirt in Swahili. His very name hints at a life lived in the shadow of his magnificent older brother. While Mufasa was groomed for kingship, blessed with strength and charisma, Scar was left with intelligence, cunning, and a simmering pot of resentment. The film doesn't give us their full backstory, but the implication is clear. Scar has always felt overlooked and cheated by the natural order that placed Mufasa on the throne. This feeling of inadequacy is the poison that corrupts Scar's heart. He sees Mufasa's strength not as a source of protection for the kingdom, but as a personal insult. He sees the adoration of the pride not as earned respect, but as something stolen from him. His famous line, "When it comes to brains, I got the lion's share, but when it comes to brute strength, I'm afraid I'm at the shallow end of the gene pool," isn't just a witty remark. It's a bitter admission of his deepest insecurity. He believes his intellect makes him superior and more deserving of the crown, yet he's constantly reminded that in the world of lions, might often makes right. The birth of Simba is the final straw. Before Simba, Scar was next in line to the throne. It was a distant hope, perhaps, but it was a hope nonetheless. Simba's arrival extinguishes that hope completely. Now, he's not even second in line. He's been pushed further into the shadows. This is where his resentment curdles into a murderous plot. He can't stand to see the continuation of Mufasa's legacy, a legacy he feels he was unjustly denied. Let's analyze their leadership styles, because this is where the contrast is most stark. Mufasa leads with wisdom and responsibility. He teaches Simba that being king isn't about taking whatever you want, but about giving back. His power is intertwined with duty. He patrols the Pride Lands, settles disputes, and ensures the herds don't overgraze. He's a true steward of the land. Scar, on the other hand, sees power as a means to an end. It's about personal gratification. When he finally seizes the throne, what do se do? He allows the hyenas, agents of chaos and overconsumption, to run rampant. He turns the lush Pride Lands into a desolate, barren wasteland. He doesn't understand the circle of life. He only understands his own hunger for power and recognition. His rule is a dictatorship built on fear and scarcity, a dark reflection of his own empty heart. Under Mufasa, the kingdom thrived in a state of balance. Under Scar, it starves. The tragedy is deepened by the fact that they are brothers. Family dynamics are complicated, and royal families are even more so. Mufasa isn't entirely blameless. He's a good king, but perhaps not the most attentive brother. He's aware of Scar's sullen nature, even teasing him about it. "Don't turn your back on me, Scar." And when Scar sarcastically feigns excitement about Simba, Mufasa reprimands him like a king addressing a disobedient subject, not a brother trying to understand another's pain. He demands attendance at the ceremony as a royal command, rather than an invitation to a family celebration. Could things have been different if Mufasa had tried to bridge the gap between them, to give Scar a meaningful role in the kingdom that valued his intelligence? I never. But Mufasa's potential shortcomings don't excuse Scar's actions. Scar chooses the path of darkness. He manipulates his own nephew, a young, innocent cub, and uses him as bait to lure Mufasa into a trap. The scene in the gorge is one of the most powerful and devastating moments in cinematic history. Mufasa's final moments are a testament to his character. Even after being nearly trampled to death, his primary concern is the safety of his son. He uses his last ounce of strength to climb the cliff face, only to be met by his brother. And here is the ultimate betrayal. Mufasa, hanging precariously, looks to his brother for help. "Scar! Brother, help me!" he pleads. For a fleeting moment, we see a flicker of something on Scar's face, but it's quickly replaced by a cruel, triumphant sneer. He takes his claws into Mufasa's paws, leans in, and delivers the bone-chilling line. "Long live the king!" It's the physical manifestation of a lifetime of jealousy. In that moment, Scar isn't just killing his brother. He's trying to extinguish the sun itself, to finally step out of the shadow he's lived in his entire life. This act, however, doesn't bring him the satisfaction he craves. He gets the throne, the power, and the title, but he rules over a dead kingdom. The Leonis is loyal to Mufasa's memory. Defy him. He is a king of ashes. His victory is hollow because it was built on a lie and sustained by tyranny. He never truly escapes Mufasa's shadow. In fact, Mufasa's legacy, carried on through Sima, becomes a bigger and more powerful shadow than Scar could have ever imagined. Ultimately, the story of Mufasa and Scar is a timeless cautionary tale. It shows us how jealousy, left unchecked, can fester into a destructive force capable of tearing families and kingdoms apart. Mufasa represents the ideal of leadership. Power tempered with responsibility, strength paired with compassion. Scar represents the corruption of power, a desire for authority without the willingness to bear its burdens. He wanted the crown, but not the weight of it. The conflict between them is the engine that drives the Lion King. Without their epic struggle, there is no journey for Simba, no lesson about destiny, and no triumphant return. Mufasa's light lives on through his son, proving that true kingship is not about who holds the throne, but about the legacy of balance and respect you leave behind. Scar's reign of darkness was destined to fail because it was born from hatred, not from a love for the kingdom he desperately wanted to rule. A shadow can block the sun for a time, but it can never extinguish it. Eventually, the light always returns. What are your thoughts on this classic sibling rivalry? Do you think Mufasa could have done more to prevent Scar's descent into darkness? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. See you next time.